Hey everybody, Real with Wes. Welcome to Monday. Hope you guys had an awesome weekend. Hope you guys were able to check us out. Saturday. Sorry, mine went blank. There was about 5 different things that shot through my head as far as giving updates and things like that. Saturday night service, I started to a new series called Reset Your Why. Really cool, but that's not what I'm going to get into today. I have something a different direction to go. Be looking out. We're about to announce our next in-person service. I will probably be able to announce that tomorrow, but it's looking potentially just in a couple weeks around the corner. It's kind of a last minute announcement here, but we're able to pull something together and we'll be getting together soon and letting you know where soon. So keep in touch. Let's get into this. So what do I want to talk about this week? A place to listen. A place to listen. Man, it is so important in life to be in a position to hear. Hearing what's going on around you. Hearing people. And when I say hearing, we're going to get into what that really is. You can hear something just audibly going in one ear out the other. How you hear it is super important. But I mean really genuinely listening. Listening with humility, listening with openness, listening with intent to really bring true understanding, listening to resolve, not listening to a place that's not all about you. Is what I'm going to get into a little bit more, but it's a place to listen. So let's just roll into the scripture. It talks about over in James. Verse 19, it says, "Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters, you must be quick to listen, attentive to listen, intentional, by the way, and quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger does not produce the righteousness God desires. So get rid of all filth and evil in your lives and humbly accept the word God has planted in your hearts, for it has the power to save your soul." Now, we get stuck on that. It's a mouthful. I'll go over more this week, but we talk about be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Now, the thing is, and I used to do this all the time, my understandings had to grow. Well, I used to think, well, just don't get angry, don't get angry, don't get angry, don't get angry. That's hard to do when you don't understand how anger works. Because the truth is, anger is a secondary emotion. What does that mean? There's something behind the anger, which is typically fear. There's hurt, there's resentment, there can be a lot of things, but anger, if you're just treating the anger, you never get to the real issue. The real issue behind it is fear. So you're thinking, oh, let me be, quick to listen, quick to hear, but there's this anger in me and I can't hear and it blinds me and impairs me. So let me not be angry. Calm down, calm down. You're trying to calm down. You can't calm down because you're not realizing what's behind it. And that's fear. So what happens is you have to start going backwards so you can be in this position to actually listen and hear. And I mean, read the room correctly, hear situations correctly. It's more being able to listen is being able to hear it with accuracy better. Being able to hear without it coming all gargled, like old school Charlie Brown teacher, wah, 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 wah. That's what it sounds like when you're trying to talk to someone or hear a situation and you let anger get involved. But what's really behind it? What are you afraid of? So if you can start admitting and getting honest, in fact, I'm afraid. So I'm afraid, well, there's something that's made me afraid. Well, this person did this. You start pointing fingers. What really made you afraid? But that's not the root of your fear, actually. The root of the fear is typically, how is this negatively going to impact my life? How do I perceive this is going to negatively impact my life? And that what you think, which many times could be somewhat of a form of reality, but it's distorted reality is what it is, which plays on your fears is what happens to do. And then your fears get masqueraded with anger, masqueraded with pride, masqueraded with all these simple destructive actions is what happens. And what is the one thing you're not doing? You're not really actually listening. You're not listening, and so you're not understanding correctly. So what do? You go backwards and you start walking backwards. I'm angry. What am I afraid of? Here's what I'm really afraid of. Well, how do I do that? Well, you sit before God. And you say, God, show me what I'm really angry about. Show me what I'm really afraid about. Show me what that really, really is the issue. So you go to that and then you start judging it. Then once you recognize, oh, okay, that's what it is. Well, what's reality? You start sorting through reality right there. All this is about getting in that place and position to listen. So you get this news, you get this circumstance that comes at you, and it makes you angry. Well, realize it didn't just make you angry, it actually made you afraid. And then you got to understand, why did this circumstance trigger, instead of just blaming the circumstance, what did it trigger in me that I am actually afraid of? And start building from there. Why? So you can finally revisit that and actually listen. And so it's staying off the emotions, staying off the high, so why? You can hear. Because ultimately, what am I really talking about hearing when we talk about this? I'm going to wrap this up. We'll get into the next leg tomorrow. We'll just keep breaking this off piece by piece. A place to hear. What is the starting place? What do you really need to hear? The voice of God. You need to hear God. And all the emotions, all the hurt, all the anger, all these things, all the fear going on, you need to hear God. So that's what this is all about. It's about getting in that place to hear God. Now, it's going to affect other things. We'll talk about some exterior things, some relationship things, but your commitment is to not let anger, fear, and circumstances rob you through emotion, through pressure, rob you from hearing the voice of God. You can't let all those other things talk to you. You can't let all those things drown out the voice of God. No, what you got to do is get to that center, get to that peace, get to that place of sitting before God and saying, all right, God, let's talk. Before I make a decision, before I do a reaction, not a response, a reaction, what do you have to say about this? And what does that ultimately do? And I'll talk about this tomorrow. It's taking my will and submitting it to his will and saying, God, you know better. I need you. I need your wisdom, and I need who you are. And like I said, we'll get further into this thing, but man, when you realize the anger is coming up, realize you're afraid, and then start going behind that. What is actually making me afraid? Not the exterior circumstances. What is in here that's making me afraid? And then you start sorting that out with the love of God. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Come back tomorrow, I'll give you some more, and we'll just break this down. This was just a starting place to jump off from. But hope everybody's doing well, and I'll catch you tomorrow.